What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV player ratings for the really gutting loss to PSG last night on penalties. It finished 2-2 in the game and an unbelievable first, kind of 70 minutes from Tottenham Hotspur yesterday. Let's get straight into it, and we're going to start off with Vicario. I mean, he didn't really have much to do. I'll give him a 7. I'll give him a 7. I think, in terms of saves he had to make, I really don't think he had many to make. I think I can remember one.
In the second half, wasn't
it? I literally just remember that one. And that's it. But what I think he did do, obviously, it was a lovely kick up the field that that helped us get that second goal. So
bit of criticism coming in for him because he has yet to save a penalty out of 15 attempts.
He did. I think he dived the wrong way every single penalty.
Yeah, he wasn't great, which I had more hope. But I think a 7. I think it was by and large actually pretty good. I think his passing was actually decent, didn't panic and stuff, so I'll give him a 7.
In his hometown as well, must have been an immense sense of pride, and he must have gone mad in the changing rooms after letting it slip. 2 goals. Pedro Porro, I'm going to give him an 8. I think Pedro Porro was brilliant from a defensive aspect. He gets so much criticism in terms of his defensive work, and I just think it was spot on yesterday. It really was, up against Kavisha and all these mad guys that PSG have, and I think he stood up to the challenge really well.
Yeah, I think Barcola for a lot of the game was on his side as well, and I thought he just didn't give him anything, did he? I thought actually, we keep saying this, but one of his better defensive displays in the Tottenham show. He seems to be getting better and better. I think this was another example of that. I think it was phenomenal, but I'm going to give him a 9, actually. I think great performance from Porro. Got an assist as well, did he, for the Romero's goal? Good free kick. Went close with a shot as well from a free kick. Good performance, Pedro, and I think he's been probably player of pre-season.
Yeah, agreed. Next up, Cuti Romero, captain, first ever day as official captain at the club, and I think he did the club massive service yesterday. I'm going to give him a 9 for his performance yesterday. Aggressive. It was cup final Cuti. It was, and
he might be getting flashbacks to the World Cup final.
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't get the win, which his performance deserved. But what I think he did do was just classic Cuti, aggressive, wasn't letting anything pass him pretty much the whole game, and got a goal as well. Obviously, it was a mistake from the keeper, but if you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the raffle, and he bought a ticket and won the raffle, just not the game.
And I think it goes to show as well, Dembele had to move out wide to get any sort of joy, because I thought Romero had him in his pocket. I know he ended up getting an assist, but that was when he moved to the right-hand side. He'll be disappointed of how Ramos was able to get the goal that he did, and that was a massive shame. But I agree. I thought, again, up until 80 minutes, he didn't put a foot wrong. More than that, some of the challenges he put in were phenomenal, so strong. And I'll give him an 8. I thought phenomenal performance again from Cuti.
Kevin Danso up next. Obviously, Frank went for a free at the back, and Kevin Danso's addition was definitely complimented the Spurs on the day. I thought I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he was so dominant in the air, helped the team massively in terms of staying compact, staying tight, and staying aggressive, and keeping the ball away from our goal. And look, every time I watch Kevin Danso, I'm just super impressed. And obviously his long throws as well were causing danger.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to give him an 8 as well. I thought probably one of his more accomplished performances in a Tottenham shirt. I think he really fitted into the back three really well. I think him and Romero together with allowing Van de Ven to sweep up, and both of them just doing the dog work and kind of stepping into midfield really worked to charm. And I think, he didn't seem as much like a bull in a china shop in this game. I thought he was actually very accomplished. So really, really good.
Mickey Van de Ven up next. I'm going to give him an 8 as well. Really good performance from Mickey. I think it's the best we've seen from Mickey so far in this pre-season, and obviously before the season starts. But again, really aggressive. I thought his passing into the midfield was decent. Got his goal as well, which was unbelievable. It's just the penalty is just the biggest downer on his performance yesterday in the penalty shootout. It's a lottery at the end of the day. He's a centre-back. He stood up to take it, but unfortunately it was a poor one, and the keeper was equal to it.
Yeah, I'm going to give him an 8, maybe a 7, because I do think he's a bit culpable for the second goal we conceded. But I think by and large, really good actually. The way he patrolled that left-hand side, helping out Spence, even though he didn't need much help, but with Kavisha, I think the way he stepped in to that left-back slot, taking throws on that side as well, really, really good. I think kept things simple, unlike Romero and Danso, who were really going at them.
Next up is Jed Spence. I'm going to give him an 8 as well. I thought Spence had an incredible performance yesterday. He had a lot of work cut out for him. If you're looking before the game, the kind of players he's going up against, Hakimi on that side as well, unbelievable. And the way he dealt with it for the majority of the game, no problems whatsoever. I thought really aggressive, trying to get us up the pitch whenever he could. But what I would say about Jed is that when Ousmane Dembele moved over to that side, he did struggle with him a little bit. And obviously one of the goals came from that aspect where he beats Jed Spence. So he'll be a bit disappointed by that. But look, doesn't take away from the performance he had. A brilliant performance.
Yeah, absolutely. He had Kavisha in his back pocket, didn't he? Kavisha had nothing. It took Dembele to go over to get any joy on that side. Defensively, I don't have any complaints. Going forward as well, he was getting in behind a bit. I wouldn't say he created anything, but he was threatening and always asking questions down that side. So, yeah, I'm going to give him an 8 as well.
Next up is Rodrigo Bentancur, and I am going to give Bentancur a 9. I thought this guy was incredible. I think this could be his best performance since the ACL. That's how good I think he was yesterday. He was literally everywhere, a massive part of why we were winning that midfield battle. He was progressive on the ball, he was aggressive off the ball. The guy was brilliant. He was no two ways about it. Absolutely brilliant performance.
Yeah, I think he was a marvel in there, to be honest. I'm going to give him a 9 as well. I thought the way he moved around the pitch I think it was the freshest we've seen him in a long, long time.
So that kind of Bentancur glide again, didn't
it was great. And what I liked about his performance as well was that he didn't play any stupid blind passes around the corner, which ended up giving it away. He had good awareness about him. He had great composure. He was able to, kind of move the PSG players around even without touching the ball to find space. And that is the Bentancur that we know what he's capable of. Took a great penalty as well in the shootout. I thought it was one of his best displays in a while, I have to say. And he patrolled that midfield. I thought it was probably the best of the three.
Yeah. João Palhinha up next in his second start in Spurs colours in this pre-season. I'm going to give him an 8. I think what he did do, just kept it simple, won the ball back really well in the middle of the park time and time again, and just played it simply on. And that's what we want to see, He's come in to be that kind of anchor role and to assist the players that are better than him on the ball, and so we can progress the ball up the pitch. And I just think he kept things so simple but so effective, and that's what I want to see from João Palhinha, and it was miles better than what we saw against Bayern Munich.
Yeah, he seemed a lot more capable of covering more ground and winning a lot more duels than he was last week. Again, is that down to Bayern being fresher or not? We will never know. But all I'll say is Palhinha was fantastic yesterday, and he was a much better, much more accomplished performance. Didn't try any of these fancy switches of play or anything, because he didn't need to. Didn't try and get the ball forward too much. I just thought it was a really accomplished display. Unlucky not to score as well for the first one. Yeah. Good effort, tipped onto the bar, I think, from the keeper before Van de Ven scored. So, really, I think that was much more encouraging compared to his debut.
And the third in midfield is Pape Matar Sarr. I'm going to give him an 8 as well. Literally everywhere. The guy did not stop running, and I thought it was a bit of poor performance against Bayern Munich, but he was back to his, just non-stop Duracell bunny self, up and down the pitch. I'll say it once again, every blade of grass. They didn't know how to handle him. Bayern Munich. Every time a Bayern player got it in the middle of the park, there was Pape Matar Sarr. It was unbelievable, the energy levels that he was showing throughout the game, and everything that he was doing was such a top level yesterday. Great to see.
Yeah, and at times was given a bit more offensive license. I think you saw like a goal kicks. Occasionally he's popping up on the left wing. I'm going to give him an 8 as well. I think, he pops up on the left wing occasionally, and we go for long passes to him, and he tries to win headers and things like that. And that was a tactic that worked quite well. I think his running energy was fantastic, especially up against a maybe leggy PSG team. You could see the power of Pape Sarr in that game. And I thought where the main benefit of him was the pressing. His pressing was phenomenal.
Yeah. Mohamed Kudus up next, played in a front two with Richarlison, and I'm going to give him an 8 as well. Mohamed Kudus, I thought the work rate for the team was just there on show for everyone to see. So aggressive. PSG, I think they must be having nightmares of Mohamed Kudus, because every time a PSG defender got the ball, or a midfielder, there was Mohamed Kudus trying to win the ball back, trying to make it stick up front, and at times he was like a bit of a central defensive midfielder as well. He was dropping deep, he was causing himself such a nuisance. Didn't have too much of a goal threat, but I think the work rate and what he did for the team was just there on show for everyone to see.
Yeah, and I did think at times him and Rishi linked up quite well, but I think that was few and far between. A lot of his good work was obviously by himself, and basically he was tasked with getting the ball, keep getting on his chest, controlling it, and basically winning some free kicks out of the pitch. That was basically what he was tasked with, and he did it fantastically. The first goal was a perfect example of that. The way he had no right to beat Nuno Mendes to the ball, he did, and wins a free kick, and we end up getting goal from it. He was doing that time and time again. I thought he had a phenomenal game when it comes to tactically what his role was. I think he did it to perfection. I'll give him an 8 as well. I think, if he had a bit more of a goal threat, I would have given him a high rating.
And the last of the starting 11 is Richarlison. I'm going to give him an 8 as well. Unbelievable. I think this is the best I've seen Richarlison play in a long time. How many times have we seen, particularly in the Bayern game, where we're going long to Richarlison and he just cannot make it stick for one reason or another, bouncing off him, poor touches. This was completely different. Every time we were knocking it long to him, he was being aggressive, he was winning the ball, he was making it stick, he was bringing others into play, even this nice little touches around the back where PSG just could not get the ball off him. I thought it was an unbelievable performance from Richarlison yesterday, a pure number 9's performance as well. Would like to see him be more of a goal threat, like with Kudus, but I thought, again, the work rate he gave to the team and doing it with the quality that he did it with, brilliant.
Yeah, I'm going to give him an 8 as well. I thought it was a real all-action striker's performance. I think he had a bit more goal threat than Kudus. He had that really good attempt, edge of the box, actually played in by Kudus in the first half, which Chelaver tipped over the bar. But I thought, similar to Kudus, every time we asked Richarlison to kind of bail us out of trouble, and we asked him to get the ball down and dribble and win a free kick and do all those kind of things. I thought he did it with aplomb. Brilliant from Richarlison. Really, really happy with him.
YouTube.
Really happy with him. I thought he was fantastic. And if he's going to put in those kind of performances regularly, I'm saying I think Frank's going to like him.
Need to keep him fit. In terms of the substitutes, Solanke comes on with 20 minutes to go for Richarlison. I'm going to give him a 5. I don't think he had the desired impact. First game back from injury, and I think he showed a bit of rust. He wasn't able to close down as well as Richarlison, wasn't able to make it stick as well as Richarlison, and we kind of lost that element when he came on.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I think I'll give him a 5. Maybe it's because he's rusty, back from newly from injury. Wasn't able to win too many duels. You thought, okay, perfect time for Solanke to come on last 20 minutes and really just use these afterburners and press and do all that stuff. Didn't really work out like that. I think we lost a bit when he came on, unfortunately. Not to say that'll happen in the future. Maybe it's just because he was injured.
Archie Gray also came on at the same minute for João Palhinha, and again, I don't think he was able to have the same impact that João Palhinha was. He's not as strong as João. He's a young player making his way in the game, which is totally understandable. And I felt like the midfield kind of diminished a little bit when João went off.
Yeah, we lost a lot of duels, and we were. I think I'm going to give Gray a 5. Wasn't a great cameo from him. Wasn't too happy with. I'm not saying it's his fault or anything, but João was giving us so much steel and so much stability in that middle, and PSG was struggling to get to our box. But once Gray came on, that did change. And I'm not saying he did anything specifically wrong himself, but the impact he made on the team was not good.
Yeah. Then we'll move on to Thomas Frank. Last but not least, I'm going to give him an 8. And I would have given him a 9 if we would have held on, but unfortunately it was his subs that kind of swung the momentum, along with PSG subs, into their favour. They got 2 goals back at the end, and you can't really, when you're 2-0 up going into the last 5 minutes, you just can't not win the game, unfortunately, and we did that. But having said that, I give him such a high mark because of the game plan that he conducted for this game was working to a T, down to a T, up until those last 5 minutes, and we nullified PSG. They barely had a chance against us, and yes, they are a rusty PSG. This is their first game back since the Club World Cup. However, they're still, such quality, unbelievable amount of quality on that pitch yesterday. So, I give Frank a lot of credit for the game plan that he came up with and the way we executed it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to give him I'll give him an 8 as well. I think it was impressive how we were able to nullify PSG, hurt them on set pieces, press them the way we did. Really impressive. I think all the stuff he's worked on, the change of formation, all that kind of stuff. I think that goes to show the work Frank's, putting in on the training ground. Still want to see, hopefully, a bit more in open play. But again, it's PSG. I'm not expecting too much. And also, it was a real big opportunity. We know PSG weren't at their best, and when you're 2-0 up against that kind of PSG side who was struggling, I felt, for fitness and stuff, got to see it through. So he'll be gutted.
But I think also it says it all, doesn't it, when you hear what the Spurs fans were saying before the game, and now we're absolutely distraught that we didn't win the game.
Yeah.
So that says everything that you need to know about the game plan, how good we were, and hopefully it's positive signs for the future. So that is our player ratings for the 2-2 loss. Loss on penalties against PSG in the Super Cup yesterday. Let us know yours in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.